So Ramona, again, she's a real hero of this webinar. And she then also learned about Kanban boards in one of my other courses about how to beat procrastination and learn a lot more details about how Kanban boards work. But I'm going to give you some of those insights now in this webinar. And she's then also separated her tasks into rows. So along the Kanban board from left to right, you could have categories. So you could have family, studies, work, so then in that row you're looking at only the tasks relevant to that area of your life. Or you could have a finance module, you could have a law module, you could have some other module which all are part of your studies, and each of them have a range of tasks and things that need to get done, and then you apply Kanban principles to each of those categories. So that's what Ramona did. And in that course that she's done then, where I teach Kanban boards, the assignment is to make a Kanban board. And it is as simple as just putting 3 columns up. You can have a piece of paper, you can have a whiteboard, you can put it on the fridge, you can put it on your cupboard door, as long as it's visible to you on a regular basis, where you can review it according to your cadence and your rhythm and possibly your weekly status report, etc. So there she indicated that she was quite excited about doing that. And there is the Kanban board, like we've been speaking about just now, just the 3 columns of to do, in progress, and done. And your in progress column, limits the tasks that you put in there. You cannot work on too many things at the same time. You will lose focus and you'll actually get nothing done. So limit work in progress, and then burn your boats on the tasks that are in progress in order to have the mindset and avoid a plan B approach that relies on you justifying your commitment and accountability to do those tasks. And so again, lots of encouragement there for Ramona. And I love the beautiful Kanban board, obviously, that she's made. They're absolutely fantastic. So make it pretty, make it something that you love looking at. It doesn't have to be a boring sticky notes. It can be however beautiful it is that you want to make it. But just make sure that each task, each little block that you put on there is something tangible, specific, measurable, that is it on the backlog? Is it on my to-do list that I'm not actually going to be making progress on it now in this period of time? Or it's in progress and I darn well better start doing some work on that. I need help. I need to burn my boats. I need to be accountable for it, etc. Or, fantastic, it's in the done column. You put it there, and that's also fantastic. You're visualizing the fact that you're completing things. They're getting into the done column, and that creates a feedback loop of encouragement for you to keep pushing more things through that cycle. And the challenge of not having too many tasks in your in progress column is that you'll struggle to get things into done because you'll be too spread out. It's fine if you have literally 3 or 4 tasks in your in progress column and you review that Kanban board every day. Then the only things you put in your in progress column is what you need to do for the day. And you might then review your Kanban board at 8 o'clock every day or at 4 o'clock the previous day. And you celebrate the tasks that you've done that day. You share that with us in the Facebook group. You move it into the done column and you create space for things to move from the to-do column into the in-progress column. So here's an example of a law student applying the burn the boats principle to get accountability around the task that she is in progress with and needs help and accountability to deliver, and then a Kanban board that she's done as an assignment in the Kanban boards course, which she then also shared with the Facebook group. Okay, questions, guys? Anybody struggling with tasks or needing to get organized or thinks that Kanban boards might be useful for them to manage tasks, please ask any questions in the group. Now, this really just goes into a little bit more detail there about the 3 columns. And as I've explained, the 3 columns, and then what Ramona did was the swim lanes or the rows, which you could use for different areas of your life that you need to manage tasks. And again, whether that's family and studies and work, maybe 3 rows, don't make it too detailed and complex. You'll probably still need a notebook where you have sort of smaller level individual tasks. But a classic example is like what Ramona said, a unit of law. That's like a sizable task that's going to take 2-3 hours. and should have 3 or 4 of those in progress for a day or 2, or whatever the case may be. So your ability to describe tasks and how you are able to have a discipline of moving those tasks through a Kanban board is also something that you must practice, and that you will get better with the more that you do. And again, that's the same with all of these principles. But what you can see, hopefully, in this webinar and with Ramona as a classic example, is that they do work, and you will see that people are using them, and you can do the same if you go through these courses, if you take this kind of action, if you join us in these webinars. Miss N.A. in Global says, if you want to be ahead before the academic year starts, how do you know which textbooks to buy? I would presume you would have a prescribed list of textbooks for whatever modules you are signed up for. If not, then speak to somebody who did the same modules the previous year. Those textbooks are unlikely to be vastly different, and you could either borrow their textbooks and start reading up those modules before you go into the semester,